Smells like a stranger in there, huh?
That's just a duster that they took my ID for. Well, cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We have Clint the Miser Moses over there. And back in the seat, I'll tell you why. Back in the seat, Kelly. Sunset. Hit the button, Kelly. In a week or two.
In 3 weeks.
Clint the Miser Moses, after telling us that story last week about heating up the packet of cheese from the macaroni and cheese so you could get every last bit of cheese out of the corners.
Wow.
Which is
a pro tip.
That's a po tip, not a pro tip. Jumping right in, hugging.
Here's a pro tip for you.
Okay, yes. Hugging at the workplace.
Greeting your coworkers. You know, day to day.
All right, let's do greeting your coworkers and then greeting your customers.
Yeah.
Two separate categories.
Because when you come to work, you see people that you love and care about, and some that you don't and you hate, but you don't really hug somebody at work. Unless it's been like
a coworker
at work.
Unless it's been
months or something, or
2 weeks since you've worked with them,
or they've had some kind of like something's gone wrong in their life. Sure. You give them a hug, Yeah.
So at maximum, fist bump.
Yeah. Fist bump or just what's up.
Okay. I mean, what do you do when you pick the car up?
Yeah.
Do you fist bump Ron or hug him?
No, nothing.
Just fist bump the bumper.
A slight acknowledgement.
Barely a slight.
A curt nod.
I'm here. Yeah, okay. I'm here.
Okay, so you're working, and a customer comes in. If it's a regular that's there more than twice a week, barely a hello.
A hello. Yeah.
Not even a fist bump necessarily.
Yeah. Maybe
unless you really like them.
Yeah. And it depends on how busy you are too.
Depends on how busy you are. You have a person come in that you haven't seen in over a week or so, and they came particularly to see you. Hug status.
You can make some time for a hug.
Yes.
You don't have to hug immediately, but you got to find. You'll find some time for. If I don't see regulars twice a week, I see them like once every month or a half. So then there's the hug.
Sure. So they have to fall within a timeline for me. So if I see all right, perfect example, Tony and Trevor. They're a couple that I married a couple years ago. And they come in like once a month-ish, sometimes more, but I only see them probably once a month. And they have this really great timing where I've just changed my shirt during the summer, where I don't feel bashful about giving someone a hug because I'm not squeegeeing onto them. They just walk in at the perfect time almost every time, so I'll go give them a hug.
In the parking lot with a single binocular, like watching and waiting.
How dry is he? Okay, just change the shirt. Go. But that dynamic changes if I haven't seen someone in a long time, and I still want to hug them even though I'm like, hey, we can shoulder tap.
It's sometimes easier to hug goodbye than it is hello, because you just gotten there.
If they come in during the rush,
yeah,
and leave when it's slow, that's hug time.
That is hug time, correct. See, and sometimes it's easier to hug bye because you can hang out for a minute when you're leaving, and then say bye.
But do you ever feel? And
my people are sitting down.
Yeah.
I might lean over and give you a hug, or maybe it's just a little shoulder.
The Christian side hug if they're sitting down.
You can leave some room for the Holy Ghost, yeah.
You got to. And it's easier. Man, Kelly is just cringing over there.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, you're in a cab. I'm not going to lean over and hug. Next time I ride in your cab, I will, but not normally.
I might gently place my hand on a thigh with Kelly.
Yeah, he's driving. No, be careful.
Or maybe I'll put it on the knee first. Well, I'm respectful.
There's another dynamic, too. There's some people that
it's always awkward. The whole thing, it's just awkward.
We hug all the time.
Yeah, it could not you.
But we hug Bible. We hug hello.
It's natural.
I hadn't seen Kelly in 3 weeks.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't know hello, but hug goodbye for some big league chew.
It's fine.
But there's also another dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, for something like Paxton, sometimes people are sweaty and you don't I want to give them a hug because they're sweaty as hell, or they wear a certain kind of perfume or cologne or something. Then you're like, oh yeah, it's Jimmy and he's always wearing 18 jugs of patchouli, or oh, there's
Dracar Noir
old Ron
Dave.
living back in his olden days wearing too much Tommy cologne, or for some reason people that are wearing Aqua de Gio are like, so this bottle has 3 uses, right? It's got 3 uses out of the whole bottle, and then just
is this a single serving? Okay.
They spray everywhere. Then they spray and walk through. They back into it. They put it on their feet. Yeah, it's everywhere.
I forgot who it was, and I can't tell them their name because I forgot. But she goes, motherfucker came over to me and tried to side hug me with that armpit of his. And I did it a month ago, and I'll never do it again. She was like, it took two laundries to get that
I love some of the guys in the kitchen hookapoos. I don't see them for a while. Yeah. I'm like, hey, if I'm wearing black, I'm like, look, I'm not getting the dough hug. I don't want the dough on me.
Oh, whenever I walk through the kitchen, they love I know they do it on purpose. They'll just clamp down some dough, and a poof of flour comes up, and it's like eyeballs.
Like LeBron James.
Yeah,
back
LeBron
then.
James.
Yeah. And then what they don't realize is there's evidence of sexual harassment because I'll see girls walking out of the kitchen with a hand on
The hand on their ass.
It looks like the right hand and Peaky Blinders or something like that.
Hey, yeah, you're like, you had to do like some research on it. You get the tape measure out. You're like, all right. You tell me how hard they grabbed.
That's a small hand. It was the left hand.
Yeah.
On the right cheek.
Oh, that's Jack. Jack's
a maneuver.
left-handed.
Yeah, that's a maneuver right there.
Sometimes you just got to avoid the hug. Sometimes you want to give the hug.
Right.
And be aware, guys, sometimes girls don't want to hug you. Don't ever say, where's my hug? Because that is the most cuck bullshit in the world. Don't get, where's my hug?
You just said that, and
It does. It's like,
it
hey.
elicited this. Where's my hug?
Because, like, I'm a hugger. But some people, like, if I see somebody I hadn't seen one that's a female and they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm not like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, if you want to hug, I'll hug. I like to hug.
You can, all right.
I'll turn down the handshake for the hug for a lot of people. I'm like, hey, I'd rather hug you.
I'll slap it out of there.
Well, some people, I want to hug them instead of shaking their hand because their hands are a little questionable. Where have those hands been?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I just want
I
to
won't-
smile and a nod.
I don't want to call somebody, we'll just call him Drug Bosthorn.
I won't tell him your name.
I don't
Where?
I don't want to hug him or shake his hand. You know, where have his hands been? You should shake his hand, smell your own hand. Like, oh, it got on there somehow. He could use. I'd rather him take the Aqua de Gio bath and then I'd hug him.
Single serving.
I thank you for not littering, sir, and leaving your cigarettes in your pocket so I can smell it on you.
Speaking of not littering and recycling and things like that, so I found a life hack for these Nomad Wineworks empties.
Yes. Oh.
So here's what we're drinking.
I'm drinking the Nomad Red Blend, Malbec, Syrah, Pinot Noir, all from California wines. So it's got a lot more girth than the last one. There was a fourth wine. I'd never heard of the grape. Fourth grape in there, but Malbec, Syrah, Pinot Noir. It's their red blend from.
It's Gilbert grape.
Yeah, it's Gilbert. Yes, yes. But
Yeah.
from Nomad wine with the last little carafe. What is this called?
Oh yeah. Well, growler.
Growler. Thanks. I was
Growler,
like,
yeah.
carafe. I don't know what carafe, but yeah.
So if you get growlers of wine from a place that you don't live in the same state of,
Yeah, you want to hold on to it.
you hold on to it. And here's what you do: you wash it.
You've
out.
gotten hold of 3 of them already.
Well, I'll tell that story in a second. Well, so all I did was wash them out, fill them up with filtered water, and stuck them in my fridge. I forgot that I'd done it, and I woke up after overindulging in some wine
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
you want that cold hangover water.
And it's in a cold glass bottle. You know, it's not on ice. It's not.
Yeah, it's not a water bottle.
There's something that hits
Glass.
about a cold glass with cold liquid in it when you're waking up in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
right after pee or before pee. Because, that's.
I do double up, bro. Pee while you're drinking.
Yeah. One hand on the wall.
Yeah. Always.
No, I agree. Coming out of a glass bottle, anything, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, a Coke is crispier out of a glass bottle.
Except for what Paxton's drinking right now. Because
All
that
right.
could be in a
I'm
glass
not-
bottle. It
I
could be
will-
in diamond.
I will not be promoting this at all, and you probably can't see the color of it. You don't want to see the color of it. It's the color of bad acne. I went to the store to get some Celsius because we're gonna, have like an easy night. Clint's just drinking the wine. I was getting a Celsius, and I saw these. They were 2 for $3.79, and they were 10%. And I was like, okay. The can doesn't really elucidate what is inside.
It doesn't say warning. You're gonna.
It doesn't say this
comes with you had a little shot of insulin on the side.
It should have, because this tastes like the worst cough medicine with bubbles you've ever had. I mean, I know you got to make it taste a certain way because it's 10%. Like, it's going to taste kind of funky.
What was the?
But this would be improved by grain alcohol or vodka.
It's like what was the Four Loko?
I can't remember if I ever had a Four Loko.
So I had a friend named Justin, and and yeah, start listening, you'll figure out about yourself, buddy. So he went through it. He doesn't drink anymore, but he went through a time where he was, a regular drinker. He would drink Miller High Life, so much Miller High Life that one day at work he asked everybody that drank Miller High Life to please bring him the Miller High Life points so he could just save up to buy something. And our general manager went, "You don't have enough to buy the boat yet." Because he would drink so much Miller High Life.
There's a guy, remember back when Marlboro red cigarettes?
Oh, the Marlboro Miles.
The Marlboro Miles. There's a guy, he would just go to mall parking lots and pick up empty cigarette packs, and he would get the blankets and give them to homeless people.
When I was a kid, I used to get them together, and I got a bunch of them. Then I was like, wait a minute, I was like, 15. I was like, I can't cash these.
I can't get a Marlboro
18 to buy,
hoodie.
21 to get the damn certificate thing. That and Camel Cash. But back to my buddy Four Loko Justin. So then, when times got a little more difficult and he wanted to drink more and more, he would just chug the bejesus out of Four Locos. He would drink them like
Was this pre-ban or post-ban? Whenever they took the
pre-ban, but then when the ban was coming, my man was not going to be outdone, and he stocked up, and he would like. He had like the newer ones and the older ones. The older ones were kind of like special occasion Four Locos.
Yeah.
Because he would like stay up and play video games until the break of dawn.
Sure.
And so he would drink the Four
needed
Locos.
gamer energy.
Yeah. Well, then he wasn't eating around it though. He was just drinking. He's like, there's hollow carbs in this. I'm like,
So no Doritos at all?
no.
Speaking of power move with pre-ban Four Locos, Pat Whitten, a listener, he's at college in Statesboro, Georgia, at Georgia Southern University. Pre-ban, finds out the ban is coming, buys a truckload, goes to frat parties,
And sells
sells them at a very high markup.
Oh,
He's always been a business-minded, like hustle type dude, though.
Yeah.
That's the move though.
Yeah, and I think he paid for his next semester off of pre-ban Four Locos.
Better than I'll pay for some of mine. Anyways, bigger things to pay for. We just want to remind y'all, Hawaii, Maui, giant disaster went on. Please, if you've donated, thank you. If you can still donate, I'll throw the link up there again this week as I did last week.
I didn't put the Patreon link anywhere near the Maui link because I didn't want people to think
Yeah, it was going to.
that it was that if they went to the Patreon that it would go to them. But we do have Patreon, patreon.com/from behind the barcast.
Yeah,
we also have
shout out to Ben. Shout out to Ben Northrup, who did a deep dive and went all the way back to episode 54. More on that in the second half. But he went back and he went and listened to all the Patreons, and he was like, "I'm so satisfied with this product that he upped his monthly
My man.
to $10.69." Nice.
we've had a couple. Yvonne Rose, one of our patrons.
Yeah.
He's gone backwards. He goes, whenever he started like a month ago or 2 months ago, and he goes, I've been going backwards ever since. I was like, that's dedicated. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. 'Cause I was always like, why are these back numbers going up?
Backwards down the number line, man.
Yeah. Speaking of another patron and friend, she was here last week helping us out with the cameras. Maddie Gail Pierce comes in, I believe Saturday night,
I'll tell all your name.
and she goes, could you give me the blue Powerade, but mix it with soda? I was like, yeah, that's it.
Because you don't want the straight blue Powerade.
No, not at Hug Foods. You don't want the straight blue Powerade coming out the gun. I mean, that's worse than
It's like you get the McDonald's recipe for blue Powerade.
you got to chew on it.
I thought you had green Powerade.
No.
But
They accidentally poured you
For some
sour
reason,
mix.
I think the blue must be the one for restaurants.
I think so,
because we
'cause
have it too.
Yeah.
And I never knew a mountain would taste so good.
I've never seen a red or anything like that, So she goes, yeah, I know it's weird, but I was like, actually, nothing's weird here.
Yeah.
She goes, can I get the blue Powerade with soda? And I mixed it. I was like, yeah, here. What are we going to call this cocktail? And she looked at me. She goes, seriously? Like I wouldn't already know.
I know.
A blue helicopter. I was like,
So next time somebody orders something like that, give them Powerade and soda.
a literal blue helicopter. I was like, I feel so dumb for not knowing that immediately.
We need a helicopter drop.
So 54 was the introduction of a very special character that we'll get into in the second half.
Yes, for sure.
So that's where he made it back to. That's where Ben made it back to.
Yeah.
And then he goes, this guy, blank.
Yeah. And we had a long phone call about it. I was in Publix making notes on my phone, and I'm like, here's a pro. This is a pro tip. If you're shopping at a grocery store and you have to stop and look at your phone for whatever reason, get out of the way of everything. I went over to the corner and camped out in a corner with my grocery cart where no one would be encumbered by my presence. Like I'm totally out of the way of everything and everyone.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I got to get on my phone. Let me turn my cart sideways here, so you have to go around the entire thing, and I'm going to block the bags or something.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
And when I was just going to get these Celtics right here, I was behind a person who was talking on their phone, and I wonder when I talk on my phone,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I cannot sit still.
Oh, that's been the hardest thing about having a hurt back is like I'll walk a mile on the phone with somebody and I'm like I can't really pace as much.
So we're in the confines of a store, and she's kind of she's trying to move. She's trying to do the walk, but you can only walk so far. And I'm like, is she trying to get a line or not? So I'm trying to dart around her.
So somebody getting over, or they just had their blinker on?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you merging or are you?
She had the blinker on, but I can't.
You couldn't tell.
She was getting over.
There's an age on that too. You're like 65. I'm like, oh, I get it.
I'm passing. If you're that age, she was like 24. So you want to talk about a couple weeks ago, or
A couple weeks ago. Let's go back. Let's go back about a mile to a mile's.
I sound like a parent about to give you your punishment. So do you want to?
Did you write it down first?
Do you want to talk
Did you write
about
down
a couple
punishments
weeks ago? All right, let's see if you tell the truth.
Yeah. No, I'm going to tell no lies here. So we finally did Miles Monday. We wanted to wait for Mr. Kelly to be back in the house to regale y'all with this tale. The tale of an undercover cop. The tale of many things.
Question mark?
Question mark. I'm gonna go with the in the 90th percentile chance of this guy. So,
all right,
we leave here. We text Miles of Miles Monday notoriety.
I'm wearing the raw shirt. Boom.
Bam. There you go. We're gonna go to the Windrose and meet you. We'll start at Windrose, which you guys always do, and we'll go from there to the Sandbar and wherever else we end up. So we go to the Windrose. I'm sitting. If you're not familiar with the area, you walk into a bar. It's like an L bar, short front of the L, like 5 seats by the poker machine, and then long bar. So I'm like basically on the corner of the bar talking to girl Bunger, and then Paxton's kind of next to me. Kelly's behind Paxton. I thought since Kelly decided to bring one of every beef jerky they sell at the damn Tybee Farmers Market with him, I go, you know what? Let's throw this back a little bit to some pocket jerky. So I'm walking out the door. I'm like, I'm kind of hot. I'm really hot. I'm that damn angel hair pasta.
Pocket jerky was like around episode 100-ish somewhere.
A little before that. That was
in the 90s.
Yeah,
if you're not familiar,
it was 2021.
Okay,
it was Brace when Brace went. So it would have been this time of year, like September or October 2021. So October 2021. So in that, just to back you up on that, if you didn't listen to that one, our buddy Kyle had bought this gigantic bag of jerky, like a family size chips bag size of jerky. He's like, you want some jerky? I'm like, I do. Took a handful. And like, take some more. I was like, all right. So I just start putting it in my pockets. And I just have pocketfuls of jerky all night. It's like cold outside.
And don't forget the pack of silica gel you put in each pocket.
Yeah. Just to make sure it stayed fresh. And so all night long, I'm constantly just eating jerky. Like, where do you keep getting this
all
from?
right, so I didn't notice it at first, and then all of a sudden, like a piece of gum out of your pocket, here comes jerky to Clint's mouth.
And I found out, I was like, do you want something? You're like, where is this coming
Where's this
from?
coming? And then it was never ending.
It was like Santa's sack. It just keep coming out of there.
It's nice and warm.
So I got the
chewable.
jerky. So I think, you know what's going to be funny? I'm going to, hey, you want some of this jerky? I just kind of pull up the bag halfway in my pocket and open the bag up. I get some takers. But like people are like, ooh, hee, hee, hee. So everyone's kind of, I'm just doing it subtly to one person at a time. And I do it to like 2 or 3 people. And then there's this guy at the bar, 6'1". This guy at the bar is 6'1". He's got a hat on. He's kind of fit. Clean cut, very clean cut. Shaved like 10 minutes ago, clean cut.
Built pretty well?
Built pretty well, but he's got on pants. This is the last Monday in July on Tybee Island, Georgia Beach Community. He's got on pants, cargo pants. And he's got on some like mid-level hiking sneaker kind of shoes. And I'm like, this guy's ready to exercise or something.
Mid-level.
He's also wearing the smile that says, I'll talk to anyone who will talk to me.
Because he's sitting there by himself about halfway down the bar.
Yeah. Oh,
so
boy.
he walks.
He is positioned
He
center
walks
bar.
around the corner behind us to the jukebox, plays one country song, and then taps me. I've never seen this guy in my life on the shoulder. Goes, "Hey, buddy, left you 2 credits in there." And I'm like, "What?" So I'm very high, so I'm kind of oblivious to what's going on for a minute. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So I get up. I'm like, I got to play a song kind of like what he played. I was thinking I would just kind of compliment it or whatever. So I don't remember what the hell I played. So
you asked me, and I was like, I don't know. Mama Tried?
Yeah, I think that's what
I
we
think
did.
was the suggestion.
And so, some other country
hot.
song. So somebody else comes in. I do the pocket jerky thing, and I notice this bar's got a mirror behind the bartender. He's looking at me in the mirror, trying to be a little shady. So I'm like, So I go to the bathroom, and I watch him watch
This is
me.
Miles Monday?
This is Miles Monday. You'll remember in a minute.
missed
Hold on.
this?
Just hold on. You'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
So I go to the bathroom, and I watch him watch me in the mirror walk by. I'm like, all right, I'm going to pop open this bathroom door and be looking right at him. So I pop out, and he is looking all right. He was looking right at me. So I go over to Paxton, get a little close to Paxton, and I'm handing him some pocket jerky. I go, "Yeah, you want some of this jerky?" He looks down again. I go to the bathroom right now. Please go pee. So Paxton goes to pee. I watch him. Watch Paxton go all the way to the bathroom. Paxton pops out. He's looking right at Paxton. I'm like, all right, this guy thinks I'm handing people something, which is a common thing in a bar. Paxton goes to the bathroom and eats jerky because he's shy about jerky eating in
I don't,
public.
I don't eat jerky in public.
So
Yeah.
the guy walks by us to go outside. I see him out there kind of on his phone, and our friend Ryan Bacon walks in. And I go, "Hey, do you want some pocket jerky?" And I kind of pull out my pocket. Now, in this area is now our boy Rob, his girl Sydney, you, me, Kelly, and Bunger. So 3 people reach down to grab this. This dude comes in the door with a $10 bill in his hand and goes, "Hey, I'll take some of that." Oh, I thought we were buying something else. And I was like, "What were we buying, man? What's up? You want some jerky?" And he was like, he looked all nervous and walked off. So unbeknownst, it just hit me like the next day. He thought I was over there blatantly, openly selling drugs in this bar, and people were just grabbing it out of my hand. So I guess he was going to try to get him one with a 10. What are you buying for $10?
I mean, jerky's pretty good.
Yeah. I should have sold him a piece.
All right, so Kelly and I are
Right
sitting
in
next to each other.
Yeah.
This whole time, I noticed you once say pocket jerky, or make the. But now, if I rewind my mind, if I were to see a person walking up to individuals, going, "Hey,"
And I'm looking around like I'm selling it. It's a bit.
So this guy sitting over there, he's like, "What are they doing?" Kelly and I are oblivious. When you came over to me,
I absolutely missed all of this.
So did I.
I didn't really think
Miles
about pocket
saw
jerky at all.
Miles saw the whole thing. Because I had told Miles and Rob, I was like, "Who is this guy over here? I think he's a narc." And Bunger. So the four of us were kind of watching him.
I stopped and talked to him. You told me to go say hey to him.
Yeah.
Because you were like
into the lion's den.
You go. I mean, yeah, I didn't.
Go find out if that guy
I was
was
oblivious, and I didn't give a shit who he was. So he asked me. He goes, "Hey, go ask the guy if he wants to play a song or something like that." So I was getting up anyway. So I walked over. I was like, "Hey, buddy," I tapped him on the show. I was like, "You want to get a song on the jukebox or anything?" He says that. He
probably nervous.
He chimp smiled at me.
he's got to know one thing. I don't care if he's super karate cop. Me, you, Kelly, Miles, Rob, he's outweighed by a lot here. And Bacon now, too, at the end there. So this guy is obviously high suspect. But when he came over with the $10 bill, Miles just went,
He's putting it all together.
And Miles is like, here you go. I'm like, yeah. So I go, I think that guy's a narc over there. And I point at him. I ask the bartender, Patty, never seen him before.
Never seen him.
Sydney, who works there, never seen him before. Rob, you've seen him? Never seen. No one has seen this guy before. I'm like, okay, this guy's here. He's got the fucking outfit on for it. This guy's a narc, which it happens. So I'm telling another listener of ours, V, this story. V goes, do people do bust hand-to-hand dealers? And I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, what do you do? Are you in here trying to bust a low-level bar drug dealer?
And who deals hand-to-hand?
Like hand-to-hand, like...
Who does that?
I put LSD on the jerky.
Yeah.
That actually is not a bad way to...
But I just love that pocket jerky.
Pocket jerky?
Pocket jerky.
The callback for pocket jerky almost turned into an arrest situation.
It's a narky jerky.
Oh, man, I would have loved to have seen that on Cops or something.
The jerky narc.
See, this is what's
Get
great.
Jerked around.
You and I were completely oblivious to it.
They got me out of the car. They're opening the silica gel pack to see what's in there.
Kelly and I were completely oblivious to it until the pocket jerky thing sort of sprung into my mind, and I was like, he thought that. Well, then
So we left shortly thereafter. I was like, look, I need to get out of here.
We exited pretty quickly.
So we go to the sandbar, and I sit kind of where I can see the door, and I'm like, let me see if this motherfucker walks by. And so like I looked for about 30 minutes. And then I just kind of gave up on looking. So he may have walked by, but I didn't see him walk by.
Yeah.
But he also could have had the sense to walk across the street. But I think he was thoroughly embarrassed that he got caught.
Wow.
Caught trying to catch somebody and didn't do a good job of it.
So I didn't.
So hold on. Do you think he had to write? If he's a narc, right? You got to think this guy's got to go write a report about what happens every night. Incident report. Just even if he doesn't catch anybody, what did you see? And he's got to be like, do I write down this guy? This tomfoolery got me. He's got Shanghaied me.
You presented him with pocket jerky, like he saw that it was.
I presented
jerky.
it to when Ryan was getting something. Rob. Yeah, that's when he came in with a $10 bill when I had it right here, and he was like, because he's like, I thought you were buying something different.
What is a dime bag?
Okay, so
a dime bag, I guess.
So I had a completely different.
Who sells dime bags?
I had a completely different reaction to his presence. It wasn't a narc reaction right away, or an undercover reaction right away. The smile that I told you about that says I'll talk to anyone or everyone that will in turn talk to me. When I saw that energy coming off of him from that far down the bar, I was like, I'm not getting anywhere near this dude's vicinity where he can try and spark a conversation.
Oh, thank God I didn't talk to this guy because you know me, I get suckered into this.
Kelly would have been in there.
The
you'd have his number.
Yeah, I would have been there for 45 minutes.
He'd have been at your house later on.
Oh God.
And that kind of leads into so there's that he's not necessarily an energy vampire, but I've just discovered this. I mean, I don't know why I haven't thought of it yet because so many exist in my life and that come into my work. But like it's probably been like 10 years now since the movie came out, but it was originally Taika Waititi directed and was in it, and Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords and Reese Darby.
Great show.
Called What We Do in the
movie.
Shadows, and it was a movie, and it was like it was an improvised movie in the style of like a Christopher Guest thing, like Spinal Tap.
TV show?
Yeah, it was a movie first, and then it was.
It's really good.
So
definitely a Sunday.
So you think about Curb Your Enthusiasm, Spinal Tap,
okay,
all that
Kroll,
stuff.
I got you.
they in the movie they just did a bunch of improvising where it was like, all right, you're 3 vampires. Here's what's happening in this scene, and then they would just improvise their way through it.
Yeah.
So the television show's more scripted, right? So they have typical, vampires who suck blood. They live forever. They can't go in the sunlight.
I thought you were going to say suck each other off.
Suck each other off. Like vampire. I mean, they're all kind of
Vampires are very
androgynous.
They're always going to be very sexual.
Yeah. So there's one style of vampire called the energy vampire, and it's this guy that he can walk during the day, daywalker.
Daywalker, okay.
But he works in a mundane office setting.
Yeah.
And what he does is he literally drains the life energy from his coworkers by walking up to them like, yeah, I didn't feel great this morning whenever I got in my car to crank it up and head up here to the office today.
Don't think the AC's blowing as cold as it used to.
I tried to put it on 7, but I couldn't get the right situation between 7 and 9 where it just felt right. And this dude's literally dying in the seat next to him. So I see this.
Good idea.
I see this clip, and I immediately start thinking about people that walk up to my bar
That are energy vampires.
and that are pure energy vampires. So I go into the kitchen. I was like, Eric, tell me if you've ever had someone like this. And he goes, dude, every person that I don't know.
What's the worst person to ask about that?
Think about it like this. And especially if you're like, I'm making 5 drinks and someone's like, so how you been today? It's like, I'm fine. I don't have.
Oh, what are you making?
I don't.
Oh, I put this in mine.
Hey, those ovens back there are pretty hot, right? They got to be hot to cook the pizzas, am I right? I'm like,
How many pizzas
is this
can go
a
in each oven?
conversation? Is that a real
I was
question?
drinking in a place. They put grenadine where
Yeah.
they
So
put
it's been raining
down
a lot,
there.
huh?
But
It's like you're deflating like the guy on an airplane,
Just taking the air out of you.
or Naked Gun where he sucks all the blood out of him. No, Hot Shots is what it
Hot
was.
shot. Part D.
I mean, I'm sure half of your tables
Drain the life out of me?
Yes,
Constantly.
because they've never the restaurant you currently work at
Yes.
that you work at right now.
not the one
Yes,
5 years ago.
we buried it last week, Kelly. Jesus Christ. Bury it like the vampires.
I don't think I wasn't here last week, so suck it up.
Hey, more vampire puns. I love it.
They're typically tourists, right? You don't have like a lot of regulars.
Just there's one regular
Yeah.
who is a fucking life-sucking vampire bastard. This guy, I waited on him twice. And the first time I waited on him, I said, hey, where are you from? He goes, we're from here. We come here all the time. And I'm like, okay. So I try to be friendly with this guy who was a regular. And it didn't take me more than, 8 minutes to be like, oh, good God. So the next time he came in, he asked for me because I was very nice at first because I was trying to, and I'm like, no. So I was like, I got to make this not a common thing. So I'm like, I don't give him bad service, but every time he starts to go into some dumbass story, I'm like, I'll be right back. And then I'll come back and he's like, so we left off with. I'm like, good God, forget it. Someone take their food. I need like a 10-minute gap here. Someone slam a car door like Memento. Maybe it'll jog his or knock his memory out.
And the energy vampires, they don't understand subtleties or whatever the opposite of subtleties are.
Yeah.
Like you could be as downright mean as possible. I don't want to talk about this right now. And they'll be like, oh, okay.
He looks
anyways.
he looks like Luigi too. He's drain Ouija. He's just taking it all out of you.
I've had Mama Lee call me, or I sent her a text like in clandestine, be like, call me no matter what in 3 minutes because this ride needs to be over. I need as soon as we get to where we're going. I need this person out of the car. So just call me and just say what blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Just so I can say, oh,
I'll
man,
put you on speaker too.
I gotta pick up a family of 5. I gotta pick up a family of 5.
I gotta go. I got another ride. Sorry, all that. But before the ride's over, I'm already like, I got
you got to text someone to call you. That's gonna actually want me looking at their text.
Yes.
Not Paxton.
And 2 that will actually call you.
Paxton's like 2 things that I want to do: respond to this text and call you.
All right, I saved you one time, and I can't remember what it was, but it hadn't been that long ago.
Yeah.
But typically when you go, hey, man, this is what I need you to do. In 2 seconds or 2 minutes, walk over here and pull me away and say, hey, I need you. I'm like, yeah, fucking right.
You sit over there and wallow.
I want you to be as uncomfortable as possible.
Speaking of wallow, before the podcast started, I got a Paxton got smashed burger he made for us. And man, I could only eat half because you don't want to eat a whole. I didn't want to eat a whole smash burger and then come on the air. I just got a massage too, so I'd be being here like. And the wine doesn't help any of that.
Oh yeah, smash burger and wine.
Smash burger and wine not going to do. But and this wine would pair very well with the smash burger. Speaking of people that don't wine, I want to give a shout out to some of our people that have been commenting on our YouTube videos. We really appreciate it. It helps
really
drive
big.
the algorithm. I'll respond on my personal account. Paxton will never respond on any account.
Never.
But thank you, Joe, Hockey Joe, a constant commenter.
He's in
Gwenny and
he's
James.
in Europe.
He's in Europe. Oh, so we'll get a European. We're gonna have our European listenership's gonna go up by 1 this week. I appreciate that.
We got somebody in Czech Republic.
And just a reminder, our buddy Ken Yeager is doing his
Yasker.
Is it who's Ken Yeager?
It's
I
Chuck
think that's a
Yeager's-
lawyer.
Chuck Yeager's son.
Yeah, I think that is lawyer.
Ken
Ken Yasker is doing his
Rally.
campaign rally on Sunday, the 10th of September.
Yeah.
The second Sunday in September at noon at Huckapoo. So if you like to participate, please come by. Isn't he is he still doing the walk?
He might be doing the walk right now. I feel shameful for not knowing this, but I think he's doing the walk right now. And I had a guy come in last night that was deployed with him at one point.
Tell him the walk. He was going to walk from here to the from his house
Here to Athens for sure.
I thought it was here to the Capitol.
Yeah, at some point to the Capitol.
Maybe, do you think he was going to walk from here to every other capital we've ever had? So we started at Savannah's capital.
Oh, man.
You go to Milledgeville, Augusta, Athens, Atlanta.
All
5 caps?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Could be.
Because he's got to do all this before he gets redeployed to Kuwait.
Oh, okay.
So he's got a deployment before he comes back and actually does the running. So he's getting some of the.
God, doing vote for me videos from Kuwait though. Whoo, that's a move, buddy.
Kuwait can wait.
Kuwait can wait.
That's where our oil.
That's
comes
a move right there. Holy shit, man! That is a move right there. If you're if you want to play the game like that,
exactly.
brother.
Well, let's take a break because I've got to urinate.
Urinate break is fine.
You can't suck that life out of me.
Man, I've been sucking. This has sucked the life out of me, and
It has sugared the life into you.
All right, I will never drink. What the hell is it called?
You said you wouldn't sponsor them.
Okay, don't drink what I'm drinking ever. And we'll see you in the second half.
Ever wanted to start a podcast? Don't have the equipment or the know-how? Well, we've got you covered. From Behind the Barcast is expanding into the commercial studio space. You see, step one is making sure you sound great, because no matter how good your content may be, people don't want to listen to something that sounds like this. From Behind the Barcast and Paxton Eugene Productions now offer in-studio audio and video production. Or the studio can come to you. We offer mobile podcast production from wherever you are. Now, with the hard part out of the way, there's no excuse for you not to get started. So if you're in the Savannah area, shoot us an email at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com for details and a quote. Again, that's FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com, and let's get your voice heard.
And we're back after the flood in Japanese.
Hi-yo.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Anyways. Speaking of Japanese in a bundle here, we did our 10th Dynasty draft yesterday at Chimaco's. We did it at Huckapoo's for the last 8 years. Now it is the owner of Sunday Cafe.
Change of venue.
The owner, Eric, that owns
That's
Huckapoo's. Mike Hall, who owns Chimaco's. It's a bunch of local type. Ryan Sadowski used to own the Breakfast Club. Like a bunch of locals. 9 of the 12 of us have been in this league all 10 years. So we used to do it at Huckapoo's on a Sunday morning. We'd start about 9:30, 10. But around like 11, people start coming up on the porch. And then by 11:30, 12, there's more and more people. And now it's a heated thing. It's blind bidding, or it's open bidding on players, so we're yelling a lot. There's a lot of tension in the air, in the air. And Eric does the auctioning, and if Eric's bidding on the player, they count that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, that's my player. Like Eric's constantly pissing everybody off, and I was like, look, at the beginning, we're not doing this year, dude. Like it's got to be fair. And he's like, all right, $10. Okay, me. I'm like, whoa. So it didn't get real contentious until Eric actually left. We had Eric had to get to work, so we had just a few things left to do, like it's a little bit of money left. And Michael, I love you, but Mike had a few drinks and is like, all of a sudden starts yelling at me, but he's like, why no goddamn no how? I was like, whoa, hey, this has been great. It was enough to where I was like, AJ, what? AJ goes, you're the co-commissioner, deal with it. I'm like, I don't know what. All right.
So did Eric have a proxy there to bid for him?
No, Eric was done. When he ran out of money, he just took off. But I made sure the Friday before the draft, hey, just double checking, because I saw a thing that Chimaco's AC had been done. I'm like, we got AC right on Sunday, and then I get no response, and I'm like, people are like, I think so. I'm like, Mike. He's like, yeah, we're good. We weren't good. It was hot as hell in there.
Everyone's AC's been breaking. Mama Coco's AC broke this week. Mine broke last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's hot out here in these
Literally
streets.
the worst time.
Yeah, because we went outside. I was like, this is actually easier on me because at least the wind's blowing.
My place feels
but
amazing.
Mike's nice. Mike gives us open bar. Don't touch the top shelf of tequila. So that is great.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
And the girls that are working there are making us drinks, and we're like, we got to tip you money. And they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, look, we're taking care. And they probably made $100 off us.
Yeah.
Without doing a whole lot of work, but you're drinking tequila,
Yeah.
in a non-windy room.
Yeah.
It is warm.
I bet.
And then like tables were coming in at 11 and sitting down, and this table sat back in the corner, like in the same room with us, with the other side with two kids, and I was like, all right, guys, inside voices here. We can't be
Fearful back there. They're like huddling in the corner.
Because we're yelling a lot. There's a lot of cuss words going on. We're like, oh, God damn it, oh that guy. It's just it's contentious, and Danny's trying to do the math for us. Danny Rapicelli. Danny had shot an alligator in the head that morning with a 9mm at point blank range.
Of course he did.
His son went hunting, and so he had to finish it off, but he did it right next to the water, so he couldn't hear shit. Danny's like, what? Who was that? How much money?
Danny and I have done
So we got done.
things like that before.
Then he's like, "You want to go home?" I'm like, we're going to go to Huckapoo's for 1 second. I want to tell Eric he missed the actual break. And I was like, "What happened?" Eric was so excited, like I was coming to tell him there was 10 naked girls in the parking lot. He was like, "Dude, what?"
Eric loves nothing but a social story.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, damn, I missed it."
He loves a social
And I was like,
anecdote.
"Actually, it feels the same in this kitchen as it did in Chamaco's."
It's funny when you're like, oh, I can walk outside and it's better. And well, actually, speaking of ACs being out, I stayed at your house the first night my AC was out. Came down to Tybee the next day, ran some errands on the way. I'd asked Kelly, I was like, hey, buddy, can I stay at your house the next night, until my AC gets fixed? Sure. Show up at his house, call him, text him.
Oh, how does it feel?
I'm not going to walk in his house. So I came here.
Really?
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
I don't have the sympathy for that response.
No, I'm not fishing for sympathy. So then I get here, and all I did was stack both of these fans on top of each other because I have a window unit downstairs. But guess what? I don't have a window to put it in. All of my windows open like this.
Put that shit sideways. Probably won't know the Freon won't work that way.
Yeah.
I just feel terrible now.
Don't feel bad. It's okay.
I mean, not really, but I do.
You need to sweat out Monday
but
night
I did
anyways,
go
'cause
by.
we had a lot of fun Monday after.
Yeah, we had a good time Monday.
Good time.
And we sat there. All right, so now I know why I can't edit with Clint in the room.
Because I'm distracting.
Because it was like, okay, so we did that week, we just took some Patreon stories that we could use. And then we just got on Google and searched for pictures that sort of coincided with the topics or whatever. Clint was like, what if it was a bear holding a microphone? Okay, search that. Okay, wait a minute. What? He was like a Jack Russell Terrier on Google. And I was like, listen, pick one. I'm putting it in the timeline and we're moving on. He's like, okay, think about this.
It's because I've been taking muscle relaxers and they finally worn off by about. You have 2 or 3 drinks you've been drinking for days, and you've been doing muscle relaxers. You're like, it kind of gets a hold of you.
This is why I quit doing graphic design professionally for that exact reason.
Because of Clint, I get you.
No, I mean, well, yeah, people like you.
But one of the things I did before I went over to
People like you.
to find out that Kelly had reneged on his offer, I went to the P.O. Box.
Who's got in the hot tub and slept in there?
I went to the P.O. Box, which is P.O. Box 191, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328. If you have any drinks or swag that you would like to send us,
We got something coming too.
that's the place to send it to. But I know we have a Patreon, and I know we ask people to send us stuff on our P.O. Box and stuff, but listen.
And if you think you're going to send something that's going to be a larger than like 2 shoe boxes package,
Yeah.
Contact me on social media, and I'll give you another address you can send it to, which will not be said on the air.
But what we will never do is put Venmos on the back of our cars
No.
for anything. But
Unless it's like, help me, I need a kidney.
okay, so we'll get to that. So I saw this Venmo the other day, and it took me a while to read, so I went through a whole host of emotions whilst reading.
It was a parked car?
It was a parked car.
You sent me a picture of it because I was like, you couldn't read that while driving.
Yeah. Because as I was
Interstate only.
they were about to pull out as I walked by. I was like, snap. I couldn't really snap it really good. But here's what it said. It said, Venmo, don't buy the bride a drink, ... Donate to, ... And I thought it was going to be like the Cancer Society. No, it said donate to the honeymoon.
To the honeymoon. Oh, boo.
I was like, if they would have put a charity, like donate to Maui.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, we had triplets unexpectedly.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
But
And-
not donate to my
Now,
honeymoon.
if you're at the bar and you're like, I'm about to go on the honeymoon, I would do like Kelly and be like, hey, I'll buy you a round.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Totally fine.
I
Guys
just had
come,
triplets. I'd buy me some condoms.
I might even cover the whole tab.
Guy comes in and goes, hey, do you have a military discount? No, but I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah. Nobody told me at my new job that I work right now, when I first started 10 months ago, that we had a military discount. So like 8 to 10 people, I was like, nope. And then one day someone heard me saying no, and they're like, oh, we do. I was like, do what? You trained me, and you didn't tell me.
Oh, my God, yeah. And imagine saying that in front of the person you just told no.
Yeah.
Now you're an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, Don't tell anyone outside of the family what you're thinking.
And it was the guy with like the Vietnam vet hat on with all of his, like, you know.
The one who would take the most offense to it.
Yeah, the one who needed it probably the most because he was,
Yeah.
old and retired.
So let's, so another thing that happened the other night.
Hi, make sure
Yeah, it's great. This guy walks up to me, and so we got Kelly back this week. We're glad to have him back. And he goes, this just has to do with the breezy cab down here on Tybee. This guy walks up to me, and he's not drunk. He doesn't seem like an ass or anything.
What time
like
day is
that.
it?
7, 8, still daylight.
So he comes up to you, he wants a cab.
No, he walks up, he goes, hey, man, the breezy won't pick us up. I was like, I don't see that happening. He goes, well, they took us here, and I've called them twice, and they go, stop calling. I'm not picking you up. Yeah. So I'm like, that does not sound like the breezy, man. He goes, no, I've been calling the breezy. There's a girl next to him.
What'd you do, buddy?
Oh, yeah, and I was
it does sound like breezy.
Were you dropping N-bombs in the car?
The thing was, he didn't have a look about him that was like, I mean, I know people who don't need to be picked up, or
and they sometimes still get picked up.
Who would be refused service to, I know people like that. I can read that because I would refuse them service at my bar, Well, he goes, so the girl next to him goes, will you show me your phone really quick? And he hands her the phone, and she opens up the call log. He's not calling the breezy number.
He's calling his ex-wife.
He's calling some guy who's like, I am not picking you up. Stop calling. So the
guy's like, why is this dude hitting on me on the phone?
She plugs in the right number, and it's like, breezy, okay, see you in 5 minutes.
Oh, man. That poor other guy. I was like, God damn it, man. Just trying to enjoy myself.
I wish I'd been on the other side of that line, that guy in this Barca lounger. Like, dude.
All right, because Huckapoo's, we're one number off from the police station.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
What, the non-emergency line?
Yeah. Non-emergency, yeah. But I'll answer the phone. Huckapoo's.
I'm sorry. I'm not picking you up. I need an ambulance. I'm not picking you up. I kept calling the non-emergency line.
I should have made a drop for this, but we have a huge update.
We have a huge update.
I mean, we have an update.
We have an update.
It's huge to us. It's huge
and guys,
to me.
Just like herpes, Scott Jacobs is back. He won't go away. He won't go away. Just like the herpy he is. He is a herpy on society and other people. God, this guy, look, like I said, he won't go away. So, one of our listeners, who I mentioned on the first half, you can put it together if you want to, told me a great story. His name is Ben, actually. He said he didn't care. I said his name.
Ben 69.
Ben 69. It's 69.
No.
Yeah. Not being confused with 6x9. So, he said that Scott Jacobs used to date his mom's Scott Jacobs, his mom used to date Scott Jacobs' best friend. And one night, they're hanging out. It's late, like 1:30. They all been at the bars. And Scott is trying to convince her boyfriend of this get-rich-quick scheme. I know, shocking. Weird. Scott Jacobs would be involved in a get-rich-quick scheme. We can get 5 more Emmys if we could do this. so he's screaming. It's like she's like, no, don't do this. It's a bad idea. As soon as the boyfriend leaves the room, Scott gets in her face and lays into her. He is yelling at her. He is all up in her shit. She's a little... I mean, he's not a big guy, but she's a lady, and she's a small lady. She's kind of like, what the hell? So she is kind of like, whoa. So she goes in the bathroom and calls Ben and is like, hey, this guy, he knows who Scott is by now. He's like, look, this guy's in my face. I don't know what to do. And Ben's like, I'm on the way. Let him know I'm on the way.
Yeah.
So Ben got in his truck, hauled ass over there. By the time he got there, he had scurried away. That's right. It's weird. Scott Jacobs is a pussy. So Scott had taken off. Ben's like, I'm going to see him again.
Yeah.
We're going to have it out or whatever.
Did he know him previously at all?
Just because of it.
Because of the dating
the boyfriend thing. Yeah. So don't make me say all that again. I'll mess it up once more. So
you did great.
Over the course of like 6 months, they run each other again in a sober situation, and they become amicable again. And he's like, look, I'm gonna tolerate you because my mom is dating your best friend, which we've all been there. We've all had their best friend sucks or whatever, or Shay's ex-wife, whatever, who it is. And so Scott is known to be alone not because he's a loner, it's because no one likes him.
Yeah.
Ben
he's
goes.
The guy, he's the undercover cop, smiling at the bar.
He's trying to find drugs for sure. And because he asked Fro to sell him weed when at Lily's. He was like, hey, you give me some weed. Fro's like, I don't smoke weed. He's like, but you know where to find some, right? And Fro's like, just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean it's like you. Just because I look this way doesn't mean
Yeah,
I'm
just
selling
because I
weed.
look this way doesn't mean I'm smoking.
So he walks into Agave, our local Mexican restaurant, and Ben's by himself. He's trying to get some food real quick and just get in and out. And he sees him. There he is, the fucking human herpy, sitting over there by himself. So Ben sits kind of far away. They make eye contact, and Scott's like, come here. And he's like, oh, I'm fine. He's like, oh, come here, buddy. And he's like, I'm moving in a week to Michigan. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll go sit over here with you because you're alone again. And so he's trying to be all buddy with Ben, and he's like, hey, let me get your number, in case you ever need anything. Immediately calls Ben from his phone to make sure, like he's trying to fuck him, because he probably was, because he leans over. Scott Jacob leans over, puts his hand on Ben's shoulder and goes, if you need anything, you call me. And you like pussy, don't you? You don't fuck guys, do you? Scott was just making sure. So let's just add on to the pile of things Scott Jacobs is.
A real case of the not gays.
Yeah, definitely not gay. He's a homophobic queer. That's what he's saying there. He's like.
That's like the Norm Macdonald bit. He goes, yeah, I wrote it in the book that I'm a deeply closeted homosexual. And he goes, so you're gay? He goes, no, I'm a deeply closeted homosexual.
So we couldn't make Scott our.
Oh shit! It's the Karen
Go
of the
me.
Hey,
week.
my head's hot. I want you to go first.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Karen of the week.
Oh, shit.
Kick it off, Japanies.
Japanies. I will kick them Japanies off. So, Sunday, yesterday. Nice day. It's pretty slow. Not as I wore 4 shirts.
At one time?
Down from 2. Down 2 from 6.
That's good.
Hey.
As far as the day goes, all the employees are pretty cool at this point.
Hey, shooting under par on a Sunday is good.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's like 6:30.
You're not cool, but the employees are cool.
Yeah, the employees were cool. Yeah, no problems as of yet. The kitchen's working pretty fine.
Pretty fine.
all the customers are. We had Gil out there and his girlfriend, and he goes, "How do you tell when a mechanic's had sex?" I said, I don't know, Gil. He goes, he's got 2 clean fingers. Anyways.
Classic. That's a good classic joke.
I was like, that's such a you joke.
That's a you joke. So Carl was at the bar?
I was like, that's pretty great. Another story on him later from a Darren. So this guy walks up, black man. Look, just came from the barbershop because the lines at the top of his beard were perfect, and then the beard.
You could see a little bit of like lightly colored skin around it.
Yeah,
Fresh lineup.
Fresh, the sun
fresh
hasn't hit it.
lineup.
Yeah.
Fresh black Kango bucket. He's a little overdressed for the heat, but he wasn't sweating, so he was fine.
Cool.
He was
As a
cool.
polar bear's toenail?
Yeah, he sits down. He goes, brother, let me get a water. I was like, coming right up.
That's how he stands so cool.
Gets the water. He's like, I'm gonna order in stages here. He goes, I'm gonna get something right now. My girl's in the car, but I'm gonna eat one here.
AC just running.
Probably, yeah. So we're saying that he orders a slice, and he goes, a couple minutes. I'm gonna get a Bismarcky. I'm gonna eat that here too. So now I'm starting to figure out he's trying to get as much time away.
Oh yeah, or she won't, or she's got him on a diet or something.
Yeah, right? Yes. Yeah.
Don't be up there getting a slice of pizza now. You better get that right.
Here comes Karen.
Oh boy.
So I don't recognize her as a Karen yet. What I'm reading.
This is not his girlfriend.
It's his girlfriend or wife.
Baby mama.
What? Or baby mama. Could be anything. She comes up with an energy of the energy that I was reading, which is probably part of the energy. I'm mad at you. Him. So she plops down. She's got some heft.
I could tell by the word plop.
Yeah.
Plop.
She didn't bound up the stairs.
She's a big lady. Didn't want to be hot. Gotcha.
Yeah. She did not bound up
She's
the stairs.
stabbing napkins under her fat rolls.
Oh, let me tell you about some napkins, buddy. So she plops down, and I was like, hey, he's got a water. Would you like a water as well? She will not look at me. She's staring at him.
I'll have a Sprite.
No, she gives him the okay nod to tell me yes, that she does want a water.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Give her the water. He goes, hey, my man, could she get a straw?
Uh-oh.
So I was like, all right, we have cocktail straws. I'm going to give her 5.
Uh-huh.
And then that's the circumference of a typical straw, I would think.
That's a McDonald's straw.
So, somewhere in the vicinity.
Even though you really have a couple straws back there.
Yeah. Shh. She don't like that very much. She don't like 5 straws instead of one big straw very much. But I'm still reading this as couples energy. So at this time, I bring his food out. He'd already eaten a slice.
He's here coming and just shoved down his throat.
Here comes the Biz Marquis, which is a wrap that we have.
Oh, I wanted this to go, man.
And she picks it up and starts eating it. So I was like, he goes, "Oh, babe, I didn't know you was going to come out here." So he goes, "Could I get another one?" Right?
Because she's a hefty lady.
She hungry.
This Biz Marquis gone.
She hungry.
Not a chip crumb left.
So I go get him another one. Bring it out to him. He eats about half of it. He goes, "My man, she still hasn't looked at me. Still hasn't acknowledged."
She's just staring at him.
She's kind of staring at him, and if not staring at him, staring angrily into the distance.
Mean mugging the sky.
Mean mugging it, the bird that flew by. Fuck that robin. You know. So he goes, "She drinks, but she doesn't like to taste alcohol at all. Do you have it?" I was like, "Say no more."
Twisted Tea's coming up.
Well, I'm gonna make you a rum runner. That's
yeah.
barely got any rum in it. You know, it's gonna have 2 flavored rums.
Yeah.
And a bunch of juice. So I give it to him because I'm like, obviously he's the go between.
He's
He's got to make sure her tasting, make sure it's not poisonous.
The vessel.
I think he probably it was. So he tastes it.
Did you put 6 cocktail straws
I
in this
put
one?
6 cocktail straws in that sumbitch too.
Yeah.
So I come up and I'm trying to get her attention. I'm like, "Is it good, honey?" He sees me trying to, and he goes, "It's fine. She likes it." I'm like, all right, this is a funny dynamic.
I've dealt with some of this myself before. It usually is a black woman under the age of 40,
Yes.
and she wants him to take care of everything.
Yeah.
And then she's also got to govern how much she pays you too, though.
She also had a lot of disdain for me, just as an employee of a restaurant.
Yes.
So when I bring the second wrap out to bring to him, I pull out some napkins to set it between the two.
A napkin barrier for the wraps.
The two baskets.
You didn't want a rap battle. You got to put the napkins in between.
One of them flew out and landed onto her arm.
Oh boy.
I thought literally nothing of it. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of busy. Whatever.
She's sweaty. She needs it.
I'm busy. I'm not really paying attention, and I don't want to pay attention to this bad energy. I'm feeling for this dude right now. A little time goes by. He goes, "All right, I'm going to get 1 slice to go." I put that in. It's about to come out. He goes, "And could I get a to-go box for the other half of my wrap?" I said, "Yeah." I set the to-go box down. It touches her arm.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm starting to pay attention. He goes, "You fucking serious, bitch?" He goes, "You being that serious right now about a motherfucking to-go box touching your arm? Who you got the problem with, me or him?"
Oh. Wow.
Okay.
This is real.
He's had enough.
He put, because he's like, I haven't done shit. I've like kind of gone out of my way because I'm feeling bad.
You feel bad for this guy, yeah.
I feel bad for this guy. So his food's in his box. I don't know how she did it from where she was, but she somehow slapped it. It clamshelled open into the breeze. The guy's like, "Walk the fuck out right now." So she gets up and leaves in a huff. Well, not very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
She's making her way downtown.
Did the trombone play behind her?
So he scoops it all into the box. He goes, "Here, man, you got a broom or anything?" I was like, "Bruh, you don't have to."
There's a dog out here who's hungry.
Yeah, you don't have to do, bruh. And I walked around to look. There's like 3 lettuce leaves down there.
Yeah.
You know.
Those are biodegradable.
I was like, "What's up, man?" He was like, you don't want to know."
There was too much sand on the beach today.
Yeah. Fuck.
Tell me what you think happened within 10 seconds of her not being in sight.
He did
Something in his pocket happened.
Oh, his phone rings.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So now it's getting a little touch and go because he's like, "All right, let me get the tab." And I was like, "It's 26, whatever." Okay. He starts pulling out a little bit of money. The phone rings again. He's like, "Bitch." I said, "You said bitch?" He goes, "I said bitch." He's pulling out money, like, trying to get it together.
Yeah.
And she distracts him so much. I know he meant to give me 36.
And he gave you 26.
He gave me 26. And I'm not going to say,
Yeah,
brother,
I mean,
dude,
Yeah.
I know what he was going after.
Yeah.
I know what he was about to deal with. But then I was like, does she think that in the 10, it's probably less than 10 minutes, that he was up at my bar, that we had made a pact to
Put stuff on her arm and legs.
Or
Yeah.
What? See, here's what I'm hoping, and it didn't happen, but I was hoping, man. I wonder if Mike was working, because you know, if you weren't feeling bad for him, you could have put Mike on her. But Mike, she wants to talk to you, and because Mike's handsy.
Oh yeah, you know what? I mean, he was working, but by the time I realized that it was,
It would have ruined his day.
It was
or
at critical mass. She
sounded like she was critical mass.
Yeah, she was critical mass. She was about to implode. It was.
Jesus.
She had already, she had sauntered off. So I knew what the dude was trying. I knew he was trying to give me 36, but I was like, you know what, man? Oh, didn't even wait for the last to-go order to come out.
Oh, you got a slice. That was a tip.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Jesus.
And
You should have ran to the parking lot and handed her the passenger window.
I felt like a twinge of racism from her.
It sounded like it.
Not from him. I saw him and I didn't compliment him.
I don't get hardly any racist stuff from black guys, but
Yeah.
black women under the age of 40.
Yeah,
I get a little shade.
Look, man, the way I look, I mean, I look like a Hitler Youth. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. You know,
You probably
Yeah,
assume that
sure.
I'm racist. Fine,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So that was, that
your
was
haircut
just
and Nazi shirt did not do any favors.
because typically, me personally, the black women that I deal with at Poos like me.
if you're giving somebody booze, once you give them a drink and they get it right, you can win them over. Usually.
And she drank all of that drink.
No matter where you go in the world, somebody out there is just going to hate you.
I know that.
That's just the. I mean,
But it's just if I would have read the energy as her not liking me,
she's
earlier.
your social kryptonite. No matter how charming.
Yeah.
And I've encountered that in Breezy. And it's not like I pull out all the stops. If you want to talk, we'll talk and all that. But sometimes people they just don't like you.
Yeah.
Whether it's you driving the car or you're just.
They don't like your industry or whatever.
The
There's something
pheromones
that
coming off of you piss them off.
There's something that they don't already like.
You're too laid back.
And I don't. And that's another thing.
Or I'm mad at somebody else,
Yeah,
so you're
too
getting
laid
the rest.
back. Yeah.
2 weeks before that, another young black woman looks at me and she goes, "You working hard back there?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "No, you're not."
It was like that chick in the car who basically said, because I drive a Breezy, I'm just a lazy human being and have nothing to offer the world.
Exactly.
Dress me down in the span of
She goes,
Yeah.
Mickey's to Coxburg.
"You're just a lazy." She goes, "You're not working hard." I said, "Just because I don't look like I am, because I handle my shit."
I've been here forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't, and I'm not. I don't look like I mean, I look like a mess, but I'm not mentally a mess right now, bitch.
Bitch, please.
Did you say bitch?
Yeah. I said the opposite one. I'm sorry.
It's hot. You don't have to wear the wig, man. We know. We got
wig
it.
on right this time. It had like reverse.
Is there a
bumps
right
and-
way to Karen wig? Is there a right way
No,
to
there's
Karen wig?
not. Actually, that's what makes it great.
This week's Karen brought to you by Raw Ingredients, Tybee Island, Georgia. Go see Miles and E. That's Rhonda.
The man behind Miles Monday.
Damn it! I wish you had gotten that. I wish you had gotten these
Good
new headphones.
packs.
Still
Good
got that. All right, what's one eye Clint here with the Karen of the week? Good Lord Almighty, that knocked me right now. You can't even really see it, can you?
No, you can't.
You can't. Kelly's mad. He's like,
You look like Charlize Theron in Monster.
I was going for Charlize Theron and a Devil's Advocate, naked and cutting his shit in church. In my dope ass shirt here. All right, so speaking of people that get all up in your face and might be a little racist, I'm having a hard day. It's been about a month ago, but I haven't worked much because of my back lately.
Da-na-na-na-na.
I'm in a small room at work,
Da-na-na-na-na. All right, wait.
and this older white couple comes in. They're in their early 60s. I got an ID them both for drinks. She's fine. He's got a problem with it. I don't look old enough. God damn it!
fun.
They can ID. You can ID me, but they can't ID who was smoking crack in the White House, can they? So all
Lead
right,
off. That's the lead off pitch.
that's the lead off. We're already here. All right, know what team you're on, buddy? Be on your team. I think it was just coke, and I just want to give anybody out there who's not aware of this. There has been cocaine in the White House under every administration since fucking Lincoln. Okay, there's been somebody in there on the look. You know who doesn't get drug tested? People that work for the government and that high end. They're not getting drug tested up there in the Senate or in the Capitol. Okay, So look, anybody could be on it. And you know what? If you're gonna be up 20 hours a day, get on some of that shit, sons. What is keeping you up?
Do whatever you want.
You got, as long as you got money to pay for it. So, I'm already like, well, this is going to be a fun adventure. They they get their order in. There's a kid at the table next to them who is like 4, and she is like dancing around the room because everybody, the other 3 tables are like, oh, it's so cute, and I'm like, I'm in such a mood. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna allow this because the table was cool, and so I'm just kind of navigating around her. But it gets to a point where I'm getting busy. And I'm like, hey, watch out! I don't want to knock you over because I don't need to dodge your child. If your child's in the way and I'm not in a good mood, oops.
But were you hoping it would bother the other couple?
Yeah, but they're okay with it. They're okay.
Fuck.
She's okay with it. He's just kind of okay with it. Okay. Oh, reminds me of my great grandchild, Greta. So, dinner comes out. How's everything? It's fine. Okay. She's like, I love mine. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I guess I should have gotten what she got. I'm like, I thought you'd get 2 different things. It'd be kind of fun. Whatever. So the table with the kids still in there. There's 2 more 2-tops in the room, and then 3 top of people that are back in their early 20s, young ladies. He said, I want the peach cobbler for dessert. I want it to go, though. We can't do this to go. We're not going to do creme brulee, peach cobbler. Our desserts that have a high-end presentation or come with ice cream. Because you don't. Because people take pictures of food, put it on the internet. You don't want them taking a picture of it in the to-go box, being like, "Look how crappy this looks," because it's prepped in a dish already.
That's good pasta.
So we don't. Yeah, we don't want to give you the dish. So I bring them the peach. I was like, I can bring you the peach cobbler. I'll bring you a styrofoam cup to put the ice cream in. I was the one that started that. This restaurant. I can put that way you can keep the ice cream kind of cold till you get back to your room. So I bring them all the utensils to get it out of there, a to-go box. And he goes, and I walk off, and I come back, and he goes, do you like your job? Do you think you do a good job as a waitress? And I said, I'm a waiter. What's up? He goes, how are we supposed to put this in a box? I said, I'm a server. Yeah, I'm a server. How am I supposed to put this in a box? I said, well, sir, the boxes are treated, so it's not going to bleed through or anything. Like we thought. He goes, no, it's ridiculous. I was like, you know what? I'll be right back. So I go, and I get every single to-go option we've got. I got wax paper, small boxes, small containers, 2-ounce ramekins. I've got everything, 2 cups of different sizes with to-go lids. Here you go. Here's everything we have in the whole restaurant to pack up to-go stuff for you. And I put it on the table, and he's like, oh, you think you're funny now? You think you're a good waitress and you're funny? He goes, and in the middle of the meal, he made some kind of "Let's go, Brandon" comment, and I just kind of ignored it like I do. He goes, you're just like one of those goddamn synthesizers. He goes, you want to go to those goddamn synthesizers out there? I know he meant sympathizers.
Of course,
but
yeah.
Now I'm getting accused of being okay with humanity.
Yeah,
keyboard.
Yeah.
Are you an EDM artist? You love them synthesizers.
And I'm like, excuse me? I was like, look, here's your tab. You can go. So I come back with the machine. And I'm like, here you go, put the card there. He goes, how do this? I'm like, just sir, you can hit this, push whatever button you want on there. And he goes, push whatever button I want on there. You think that's kind of funny? And I was like, sir, just please sign this and go. You don't have to give me anything. He goes, you want me to give you? And he stands up. Now he's 65. He's built like most 65-year-old racist men. He's 5'8". The height has nothing to do with it, but he's 35% body fat.
Sure.
And if I stepped back and he swung twice, he would pass out on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
And I could kick the crap ass guy. That's not the point. He's like, get the fuck out of my face. You're a fucking piece. I'm like, hey, there's children in this room. Chill out now. Now the whole room is quiet. So now I backed up 10 feet because if there's going to be a problem, I wanted to be far away. Now there's cameras in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I said, sir, I'm going to get the manager. He said, I don't want to talk to you. I was like, I'm going to get the manager or I'm calling the cops. This is it's not your call anymore. It's mine. So I go get the manager. She walks up to the table. Darren, what seems to be going on here? No, I don't want to talk to you. Karen's like, no, just go. Just go. And she's like, no. What did my server do wrong? I mean, he's done something wrong. I need to punish him for that. I need to make sure he doesn't do it again. Well, he wouldn't let us get this dessert to go. She goes, we don't do that dessert to go. He goes, no, we were here 2 weeks ago, and the girl never had a problem doing it. And then gave us this crappy to-go box. Y'all don't have those in. She goes, sir, we've had these to-go boxes for over a year. We've had that policy for well over a year. He's doing exactly what I want him to. What else did he do? Oh, he had to check my ID. My goddamn old enough for this motherfucker. And she's like, sir, there's no need for language again. We come here all the time. 2 Florida IDs. No, you don't. She goes, sir, tell you what, I'm sorry you came here all the time, but you don't need to come here again. Have a great night.
Thank God.
Well, and like, she stands back, and I'm standing there, there's now 2 bartenders with me, just watching this guy, because if he wants to get irate with her, it's not going to go well, buddy.
Yeah.
You have a war flashback from your days in the Cub Scouts.
It's nice to have a female manager, because you bring the female manager up, and you're like, do something now.
Yeah. So they walk out, and the room has pretty much been quiet, and I'm like, sorry, everybody had to hear that, and they're like, are you okay? And everybody, full sympathy. So he didn't tip me anything, but it was made up for.
Oh, plenty.
And so the manager goes to the host stand, goes to open table, no longer allowed to make reservations. When you call, so you report that person to open table. When you do that, so they're blocked on open table, so that open table gets a notification. They get too many of those, too many strikes against them on open table for the restaurant being like, you can't come back. then they can't use Open Table anymore.
What's Open Table?
It's the best way to make a reservation for a restaurant. It's an app you use to make reservations. So it's like, it then leads into like the host
Do you
stand
think
POS.
this guy's using Open Table?
They were. That's why she blocked them.
So wait, was this whole segment sponsored by Open
Because
Table?
when you call this restaurant,
funny.
no one ever answers the phone because it's busy as hell all the time. It says, if you would like to make a reservation, please use Open Table. If you need to make one for a party of 10 or more, please stay on hold. Leave a message. We'll call you back as soon as we can. So that's how
I've
you
never
get
heard
in
of
there.
this app.
Yeah. So he didn't tip me a lot, but the three girls that were in the room, they were about early 20s. What was his bill? I said $97 or whatever. She goes, all right. I'm like, why? They're like, they're just wondering what they spent to be attacked like assholes. And so like the people with the kid were apologetic. They hooked me up. Everybody hooks me up. They tipped $20 cash for him.
Wow.
And then tipped me 30% on theirs.
Damn.
So they tried to help Mr. Darren out because he was.
Those are two intense Darren and Karens tonight.
Yeah.
I got to imagine if I had been a black server, he might have.
Oh, buddy.
Holy crap.
He would have been completely timid and scared.
Yeah.
Been
Or
on the
or
sides.
the hard R would have
The
been.
hard R.
He wouldn't have opened with, they did not need the crackhead in the White House.
And make them own
I
liquor.
can get in without an ID. Why can't I?
You out there synthesizing with all them EDM
You're a
artists.
black synthesizer.
I was working Saturday or Sunday night. I can't remember which night it was, but I was at the First Choose, and they were carding everybody for everything. And I've been in there a million times.
I got carded.
They know exactly who I am.
I got carded,
and I
yeah.
got carded for cigarettes. And I had homie with me, and he was getting 2 Twisted Teas or whatever the hell and all that. And he goes, I know they're going to card me because he didn't have his wallet with him. I was like, I'll buy them for you. And they let that slide, but they carded me, and they know. I mean, it's not
Are they,
privileged. I mean,
are they
know-
scanning the ID?
Huh?
Are they scanning the ID?
they
Triple
did-
K
they did.
won't let you.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I went to
actually.
Presbyterian like
I
preschool.
didn't, I didn't press that part of it,
Yeah.
but I was more just remarking on like, damn, I mean, no
so-
one's getting off tonight.
Yeah, there was this girl that works there. She's seen me 1,000 times.
Yeah.
She asked for my ID. I was like, oh, maybe she just doesn't. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm an adult male.
Yeah.
I have my ID on me.
Yeah.
Well, it was remarkable because the guy in front of me was, I mean, I'm 53, and the guy in front of me was well into his 60s, and they carded. I mean, he wasn't mad about it, but I was like, I thought it was a little odd, and then I
That
got
just
up
means
there.
that just means
Everybody-
And that's
something-
when homie kind of leaned into my ear. He goes, he's got you got 2 twisties. He goes, I don't have my ID. I bet they're gonna fucking ID me. I was like, well, if they just ID'd that guy, and if they ID me, then so I just said, just go and give me your booze, and I'll buy it for you. But for whatever reason, I don't know if they got I don't think they got popped. Maybe it was just
something happened.
Well, now it don't matter if you're 60 years old and the liquor or tobacco people come up to your table, come up to you after you walk out of a store and go, hey, let me see your ID, and you don't have it on you. Even if you're 60 years old, the store gets fined.
Really?
I mean, it's a real thing. I mean, I
You know
get
why?
it. I get it. I mean,
They're
I'm not
synthesizing
offended.
voter fraud.
They are. Yeah. Yep. 'Cause you,
But yeah, they asked to scan.
You don't
it.
need- God, if
we're
you
going
said
to
that-
scan your ID, and I'm like, okay, but
I've gotten scanned in like
don't
North
need an
Carolina
ID.
bars.
yeah.
But, well, she didn't scan mine, but she definitely looked at it. And I didn't remark on it because I was like, I knew something was up where it was like,
I mean, my slate's clean, but I was just like, damn.
well, they asked me if I have a choose card, which is their proprietary. And I'm
And you
like,
still
no.
don't.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I'm like,
I
I
got
need
a
you to know
choose
when I'm
card.
buying.
I got a choose card with like $75 on it that I haven't spent yet.
See, you could be
I
saving money.
should-
Well,
I could be killing it.
Driving breezy, buying cigarettes, and all the stuff that we buy for people.
Oh, yeah.
I get their points.
You're not even spending your money to get
Yeah,
those points.
so, but yeah,
Better
no,
than Camel
I mean,
Cash.
it's taken like 4 years to accumulate it, but I've
Breezy
got like
bucks.
$75.
Breezy bucks.
And I think you can spend it on literally everything except for lottery tickets
and alcohol, tobacco.
I think everything else.
Damn,
is
breezy
fine.
bucks are good.
There is no breezy bucks. Don't start spreading that. Around. There's no silver or platinum pass. There's nothing.
I was trying to think of a money rhyme with choose.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a
Choose
thing.
rubles? I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't working. I was
just go to Jew.
I was grinding the gears too in my head. And I couldn't think
Choose
of it.
Jews
So now
dollars.
it's just breezy bucks. Ask Kelly about the breezy platinum ride along.
Speaking of Kelly, so we
the
haven't had.
breezy junior ride along program's been shut down.
It costs 100 breezy
Pink
bucks. I don't know how to get them though.
program is
We
non-existent.
discontinued breezy bucks, so you can't buy the breezy pass anymore to
Yeah,
get.
you have to have the breezy bucks
To
to
get
get
breezy
ride
platinum.
along.
Start believing this shit. Don't do this.
Well, don't miss a week. So, anyways, we have.
Clint said it. It's true.
Yeah, we haven't had Kelly on since we were at my house having when the AC was out here, and Paxton made fun of me for dropping a knife on my foot for a few weeks, right? He kind of was like, "Oh, don't drop a knife on your foot. Don't drop a knife on your foot." And then, as Paxton's using my sharp $125 chef's knife, which I was like, this thing's sharp. He's like, oh shit, it's really sharp. Drops it off my counter, almost hits himself in the foot.
In the foot.
And Kelly,
It's the quote Quote of the week.
Kelly said, "When a knife is falling, it has no handle."
When knife fall,
true.
it has no handle.
But
I was like, that's profound.
I've got an unintentional listener. Come here, buddy. I got an unintentional listener quote of the week right here. Hit it one more time. I want it. This guy's it's his first quote of the week.
the quote of the week.
Shout out to Studwell, mentioned many times on this podcast.
Studwell.
Shout out from
Connecticut.
From Connecticut. He said, "Gatorade and vodka. I call that a Michael Jordan martini."
That's great.
A Michael Jordan martini.
That's way better than my Confucius said.
yeah. Better than the other one I had, which is "Your country is coleslaw."
You boy, country coleslaw.
He's country and coleslaw.
So,
What did he say? Squares a pool table twice. What? Yeah, squares a pool table with twice as many holes. I don't know. It was something. I'll come back next week with that one. You know what that one is? Squares a pool table twice as wide.
yeah, even though it's a rectangle, I don't know.
That square is a rectangle. If a rectangle's not a
A
square.
rectangle is not a square. You see?
Where are you playing pool?
This speaking of like Darren's and Gil told that funny joke earlier about the two fingers. So his lady friend is like really hot, and so Gil's sitting at the bar and he sees the best in everyone, no matter what.
Gotta like that.
And this couple comes up and sits next to him.
He's like you and I.
Yeah, just like us. And he's waiting on his lady to arrive. And the two guys or the couple is sitting next to him. His lady arrives, and the guy goes, "How much did you spend for her?"
Oh, shit.
So Gil's like, ha, ha, ha. And, the lady's taking offense. I wasn't there that day. So they told me the story yesterday. She goes, "Would you be mad?" I was like,
If you didn't hit him.
I got to read the room. But Gil's like, he seemed like an innocent guy. I was like, I get that. But, like, that's a joke you make when you've had minimum 2 interactions with someone.
Yeah, and not just...
Or at least like 4 hours of roasting.
Sitting side by side and you're listening to conversation, but not...
You don't open with that. You don't open with, you couldn't ID the crackhead.
That implies like two different things, obviously. Is she a pro or... how much you have to spend on her to get
On your
her
mail
thing.
order
I think you meant the first. I think you meant the former.
Your coverage on this here? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wait, was she Asian?
I was like, I would have been like, I would have,
Fair.
I was like,
Russian.
I would have been like, hey, buddy, we don't know each other like that to make that comment.
Yeah.
And
If I did, it cost a lot more than she would have.
Hey-o. And then, God, you
gotta roast his wife.
You want to roast? Yeah, you want to get in some shit like that with me? Let's go.
Yeah. They're not going to like this at all.
I'll call Alan for backup. I mean, he'll say the same shit he always does,
But you ain't heard it before.
but you ain't heard it, and it will kill you.
Yeah.
And that little wife of yours, you will leave.
And then I'll tell Mike you want to have a threesome. You want smoke? You got smoke you didn't know you wanted.
If you bring Al over to someone who hasn't heard some of the clips before, like, they cut.
They can definitely cut.
The mic is always hot.
Cuts like a knife in the foot.
Always.
I had this, Al was in there yesterday, and I had this nice couple. No matter what they would have said, Al would have had the same response. But he goes, I've never seen y'all before. Where are you from? Before the guy could get Kentucky out of his mouth, he's like, I'm sorry. And the couple ended up being like super nice.
Al had too much coffee.
They loved it though. I mean, they loved the. And I was like, you realize no matter what you said, I'm sorry it was coming out.
He was in the car with me, and somebody
I'm from
like
somewhere magical, the Bahamas.
He was like, we're from Jacksonville. He's like, the only good thing out of Jacksonville is I-16 or I-95. I-95.
That's a good quote. The only thing good out of Jacksonville is I-16.
He's like, the only good thing coming out of Jacksonville is I-95.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's so good.
You know, it's coming out of Tybee Island, Georgia, From Behind the Barcast. You can subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/From Behind the Barcast.
We had a call to action last week about chefs, and none of you answered, but I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will not be next week. Next week is Labor Day, right?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks Labor Day. So it won't be next week. It won't be Labor Day. It'll probably be the following week, live here on September 11th.
Use your words.
We might want to wait 1 week just for reasons.
Yeah.
But we're going to have Mir Ali, the chef of Lily's, on. Owner and chef, been chef at the North Beach Grill. He was at George's. He was at El Pasticcio. He's been around for like.
He's never heard of a podcast.
Yeah, he had never. He was like, "You ain't got one. What are you talking about? What were we talking about?" I'm like, of the things we talk about on the podcast. And then Fro sold them on it. And I was like, look, Scott Jacobs. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. You asked me about Scott Jacobs. I was like, yeah. He goes, what episode is that? I'm like, oh, I actually would not have normally remembered, but Ben just reminded me. So it's 54.
54. It's weird that.
Or 55, one of those two.
We have a reference.
Yeah.
Scott Jacobs.
Scott Jacobs.
If you want to get on the podcast, all you got to say is, if you want to get someone.
If you want to be mentioned to the podcast and you got a good Scott Jacobs story, don't come with no bullshit like, yeah, he was donating to charity one day. Okay, I'll know that's a lie.
But we love you guys, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free.
You can see the reaction I just made about something just moments ago that you couldn't see on the sound waves.
It's a click. Subscribe button. It's free.
It's a click. It doesn't do anything.
All it does is help
free.
us.
Yeah.
All it does is help us.
You might get an email or two a week.
Because when I look at the analytics, like nobody that watches is subscribed at all. It's like just subscribe to
subscribe.
us. Follow us on Instagram.
And we do it on YouTube every week. On there
Every week. Whether we put it on Facebook or not.
Yes.
We're on YouTube every Wednesday, Thursday.
Cheers, Paxton. Cheers, Kelly.
Cheers, Paxton. Cheers, Kelly. Cheers, Clint.
Cheers,
Love you
Garth.
guys.
Hey, we don't do that. Not Brooks.